The Arctic Ring of Life occupies over 4 acres at the central height of the Detroit Zoo. The most immersive area that naturally encloses you in the icy north. The ring represents 3 different types of habitats Arctic animals experience by season. A grassy tundra, a frozen field of ice, and the open sea. Even with the Ring of Life's variation of landscapes, all of the habitats are tied together to appear as one. For nearly 20 years, through its visitor experiences, conservation education, and simulated research activities, the Arctic Ring of Life has been promoting awareness of helping shape the attitudes towards the wildlife and even the people of the Arctic. It's time to enter this freezing Arctic Circle, and you'll see why this is one of the greatest exhibits in the entire world. The entrance path is modest but takes the more natural approach, leading into a small boreal forest, following a peripheral pathway, and though it doesn't make it obvious, it winds immediately into what you came to see. Unfortunately, nothing from this view. But in between this overlook and the next is something far smaller, a 2,500 square foot grassy incline, home to a sister group of Arctic foxes, showing off their seasonal winter white coats that keeps them so warm that they wouldn't be affected by the cold unless it was 50 degrees under. The back of their home is so open that it mixes with the environment behind it, and they can even be seen when looking far from the other side. Continuing through the first section, you'll pass and be overtowered by structures of the Inuit, specifically Inuksuits, figures made of stone that act as guides to communal destinations, provide directions to hunting locations, and/or warn against thin ice. But the most noticeable is the recreation of a whalebone lodge that acts as the inner structure of an unfinished hut. Its opposite opening is the first good look at the tundra. Over 27,000 square feet of natural substrate, planted with Arctic grasses, and a 30,000-gallon freshwater pool in the front corner. The viewing is very opening, giving a look at the massive yard just from one angle. Of course, this is the haven for the polar bear, land's largest predator, walking along the top of the horizon with the illusion that they can go beyond our vision for miles. On this side of the circle, you can only view them from afar and leave them undisturbed. Through my first pass, they seemed so far out of reach that I thought I was out of the Ring of Life. Despite this, with the blend of their home and its surroundings, you are still led to believe they can enter your world at any time. The exhibit for its era is so groundbreaking that humans and creatures alike come from all over the world just to see it. Some from India, even if it means putting themselves in a dangerous situation to get a glimpse. A couple hundred feet ahead is the coastal village at the Glacier shoreline, a 3,000 square foot simulated rocky haul-out beach, a sanctuary for 3 rescues, Jersey and Sydney, the harbor seals of New Jersey and Maine, with a single female gray seal, Georgie, rescued from Maine as well. Their home has simulated ice floes and a 100,000-gallon pool that goes just out of view behind the ice that keeps them in. But of course, this is far from their greatest view. Halfway through this circle is an interpretive center that expresses the theme between the relationship humans, plants, and animals all share. Aside from the clear, stunning underwater views of their pinnipeds, is the Nunavut Gallery, which houses a curated collection of Inuit sculptures and paintings, minimally interpreted and displayed, but the pieces still do carry a strong message about Inuit mythology relating to Arctic animals. Now, inside is the inviting highlight of the visitor experience. The first underwater look, yes, is captivating, but nothing compares to the Polar Passage, the domain of the ice bear. The second environment of the Ring of Life, the open Arctic Sea, a 70-foot clear acrylic underwater tunnel that winds through the exhibit's vast marine enclosures. This is not your typical tunnel. What you're looking at is arguably the greatest predator and prey setup in the entire world. The first half, though unfortunately I missed their swim, belongs to the polar bears. 4 acrylic panels placed in the simulated ice walls separate the bears from the seals. No glares, no obstructions, virtually invisible, making the prey appear to be in danger at all times, adding stimuli to encourage them to be more aware and alert as they would in the wild. It is so well disguised and beyond convincing that you wouldn't know what space belonged to who through your first pass. The 2 pools are combined to be a total of 5,750 square feet, containing nearly 300,000 gallons of water. While the pool in the tundra yard is freshwater, these 2 are saltwater. Both animals can swim around and above you, and for the entire length of the tunnel, despite not sharing the same space, the animals can still be found on your left and right sides, as if they're about to cross paths. As you're casted back out into the cold, close ahead you'll find another way to take shelter at the Exploration Station. Filled with authentic research gear and equipment built to aid in frigid temperatures. Radio collars, computer stations, and a live infrared thermal imaging camera are part of the scenery, while you're viewing the animals from a close proximity one last time. Whether it be watching seals dance from the view of a bubble, or the bears from a large slanted panel, informative docents trained in Arctic ecology and biology are always stationed and ready to engage you with information about their animals. From your exit, you're approaching your final steps that complete this circle. Immediately within view, close but appearing in the distance at the same time, is the Pack Ice exhibit, adding over 25,000 square feet to an already impressive water display that's now out of view. The first habitat represents the environment of warmer or more southern temperatures, while on this side is the dead of winter. The biome is a massive sheet of simulated ice, with heated gravel beds and a shallow stream that leads to the pool, as a way to show that this is what the Arctic Circle should appear as during the appropriate season. With the northern ice depleting, polar bears are sometimes forced to swim great distances just to find food, traveling up to 30 miles in Arctic waters, though some stay at the shore and wait for the food to come to them. The tundra is directly paralleled behind it, complementing each other with invisible barriers, with inclines that create the illusion that they go on forever. Because if animals of both worlds meet at the horizon line, it will seem like they occupy the same space. From nearly $16 million, opening in 2001 as the largest polar bear facility in the world, the Arctic Ring of Life set the world's new benchmark for state-of-the-art captive polar bear care, management, and exhibition. However, there are even polar bear exhibits that open after this complex that do not match the Ring of Life's worth. By the intrepid Traveler's Guide to America's Best Zoos, this was named the second greatest exhibit in the country. It will forever be known as an award-winning example that all should follow. Thank you for watching.